Hello YouTube, this is the Algebra 1 end of course practice exam part 2 starting with number 10. Which mathematical sentence represents the solution 4D in the equation 6E equals EF plus 3D? 6E equals EF plus 3D. We're solving for D, so we want just the term with D in it on one side. So I'm going to subtract EF. This is 6E minus EF equals 3D divided by 3, divided by 3. These cancel. D equals 6E minus EF all over 3. In this case, choice A. The formula for the perimeter P of a rectangle with length L and width W equals perimeter equals 2L, 2 times L plus 2 times W. Which of the following is the formula for the length of a rectangle in terms of the perimeter and width? Okay, very similar. P equals 2L plus 2W. We're solving for the length. Subtract 2W. P minus 2W equals 2L divided by 2, divided by 2, 2's cancel. L equals P minus 2W over 2. Choice C. Which of the following is the solution for 4x minus 4 is greater than 12? Add 4, add 4. 4x is greater than 16, divided by 4, divided by 4. Because I'm dividing by a positive, I don't need to change my sign. X is greater than 4. Choice C. Which graph represents the solution set for the compound inequality? And I just wrote over it. Negative 3 is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 1 is less than 11. Well, what I do is I separate out each of them. So I just cover up the less than 11, and I'll solve this first one. I'll subtract 1, negative 4, less than or equal to negative 2x, divided by negative 2, and I will have to change my sign. 2 is greater than or equal to x, or x is less than or equal to 2. So that eliminates this one, and that eliminates this one, and that eliminates this one. So our choice should be A. Let me go ahead and do the other side. The other side is negative 2x plus 1 is less than 11. Negative 2x is less than 10. X is greater than negative 5. So greater than, that's why it's a solid circle. And then this dot should really be at positive 2. It's shifted over. It should be this way, or it really should be on the graph. But by just doing half, we eliminated the 3 answer choices. So if I were taking this test and if I were pressed for time, I would choose A and move on. If it's an untimed test, then we have the sort of luxury of going back over our answers. Trini's car breaks down on a highway. Trini estimates that she is 20 to 30 miles from the nearest car repair shop. She calls a towing company that charges $80 plus $3 per mile to tow the car. If she uses this towing company, which is the best estimate for the amount of money she will pay for the company to tow her car? Okay, well, I'm going to put my boundaries of 20 and 30 in for M. 80 plus 3 times 20 is 80 plus 60 is 140. On the low end, eliminates A and C. 80 plus 3 times 30, 80 plus 90, 170. Eliminates B from 140 to 170. Answer choice C on this test. Mia is a sales associate in an art gallery. She earns $300 plus 4% commission of sales. Alright, we'll put S for sales. 4% is 0.04 S. This week she earned $327. What were her sales S? 0.04 S equals, I'm subtracting 300, so that's 27. 27 divided by 0.04 is $675 in sales merchandise that she sold. And that's what we're asking for. In our case, S. If I want to put 3x equals 12 minus 2y in standard form, I can eliminate choice A and B because they are in y equals mx plus b form. All I have to do is add 2y to both sides, and I will have 3x plus 2y is equal to 12. Answer choice D. It has the form ax plus by equals c, where c is a constant. Which of the following represents the linear equation 2x equals y plus 3 in slope-intercept form, which is slope y equals mx plus b form? Well, I'll subtract 3 from both sides, and I will get 2x minus 3 is equal to y. I can switch these two, and I will get y equals 2x minus 3. In this case, answer choice C. Now we have some graphs that probably won't be very visible. The travel path of a ferry heading from a mainland harbor towards an island jetty is graphed on a coordinate grid. The graph is a straight line with a slope of negative 1/4. If the mainland harbor is located at point 21, which represents the travel path of the ferry? Well, it has to go through point 21. So I know it's hard to see, but this is point 12. Eliminate A. This goes through 2-1. This goes through 2-1. This does not. 2-1, I know it's hard to see, is right there, it's below it. So now we have from two choices. So both of these have a negative slope, but this one has a slope of about -4, and this one you can see has a much gentler slope of about -1/4. So I check to see that it goes through the point 2-1 and has a slope of -1/4. If these are numbered by 1 through 10, and these are numbered 1 through 10, then -1/4 will have a gradual decrease. You have to watch a little bit to see that the scales are the same. For a science experiment, Corinne is adding hydrochloric acid to distilled water. Always add the acid to the water. The relationship between the amount of hydrochloric acid, X, and the amount of distilled water, Y, is graphed below. Which inequality best represents this graph? Well, they're all, none are strict inequalities, so we can't. Well, they're all strict inequalities, so we can't eliminate any one. I would, if this were a solid line, then we might have some equal bars. So I can't eliminate any answer choices. This part will be shaded. Okay. So the slope is 4 over 6, which reduces to 2/3. So I want the slope to be 2/3. So if I do A, I get, let's see, is 2y minus 3x is less than 0. I get 2y is less than 3x. I get y is less than 3/2 x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I try the next one. This is going to give me 2/3. Alright, so I try 3y minus 2x is less than 0. Add the 2x. 3y is less than 2x. Divide by 3. Y is less than 2/3 x. It wants to know the relationship between the amount of hydrochloric acid and the amount of distilled water. So I keep this in the running. C will give me 3/2, and D will give me 2/3. Again, let's try that out. 3y minus 2x is greater than 0. 3y is greater than 2x. Back up here, y is greater than 2/3 x, and that's going to be the one that I pick only because this graph is shaded. So it's going to want what is shaded in the graph, but that's not completely clear from the question because it just says which represents this graph or this situation. So if you have the other side, you're graphing what's under here, which is pretty close, but because this is shaded, and honestly on this test or my printout ever so slightly, that's the answer that I would go with. But that's a fairly misleading question. Unfortunately, that may appear on your exam because this is the practice that we have for it. So we just have to do our best. What is the y-coordinate of the y-intercept of the line that passes through the points -4, 4, and 4, 8? Okay. Well, I'm going to use the slope. I'm going to call this point 2. So this is x2, y2. This is x1, y1. So my slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's 8 minus -4 over 4 minus -4. 8 plus 4 is 12 over 4 plus 4, which is 8, which is 3/2. I'm going to use this point, y minus 8 equals 3/2 x minus 4. Y minus 8 equals 3/2 x minus 4 times 3 is 12 over 2 is 6 minus 6. I'm going to add my 8. Y minus 8 equals 3/2 x. This -6 plus 8 is plus 2. So the y coordinate, if I put x, I've added my 8 here already. Y equals 3/2 x plus 2. So this will be the y coordinate of the y-intercept. The x-coordinate will always be 0. So in this case is 0, 2, and 2 is my y coordinate of the y-intercept. And this follows from y minus k equals x minus h with the point hk, where m is my slope. This is a general equation of the line with slope m and point hk. So we find the slope because we have 2 points. We can find the slope, and then I use this point because it has 2 positive numbers. Thank you, and the next video will start with number 21 on the practice.